Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Benoit. This is founder of the E.C.B.R.O. Tonight, I originally had scheduled a show for my new radio blog talk show, and I'll just speak about that here in a few minutes. Um, I was going to have a guest on, a couple guests, a couple Bigfooters. I'm going to reschedule that show. That show is scheduled. I'm going to probably schedule it for the end of next week. So, well, that being said, we're going to do a live podcast as we're live right now. So, just have an open discussion on whatever, nothing in particular. How you doing there, Steve? I already went ahead to hit live just to kind of start it off, but I don't know. We might get a few viewers. I don't know. I posted one link on my timeline, but that's about it. Donna, she'll be here in a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, I couldn't. I'm still getting used to that radio thing. I mean, I played around with it a little bit yesterday, as you know, and um, tried to do it today. But what the heck? I got all on my arm. But yeah, I don't know what the heck the problem was. Um, I kept trying to go live, and then all of a sudden I saw a little notice. It was on the bottom of my screen. If I already have scheduled a show for that week, you can't schedule a second one during that same week. It's only like a once a week kind of thing. Now, I do believe after I upload, what is it? Not upload. After I upgrade, I will be able to have longer sessions and probably do more episodes. But right now, I got to take for what I take. Go along with the flow. Take what I can get right now. So, but that's about it on that.
Well, you got a face for radio.
I got a face for radio.
I'm just messing with you.
All right. Well, see, at least with the radio, I don't have to have my face on there, which is good. They just hear the voice.
That's why I'm
So.
messing with you.
Oh man, I just now noticed I got these. Oh, got something on my arm. I don't know if it's poison ivy or what.
You been playing in the woods.
Oh, I haven't been in the woods since what this past weekend. But I don't know why I'm getting these bumps now. It's probably something from work. I think that's what it is. I got something from work because our material that we deal with has like the cardboard that we deal with. A lot of times they say it's real dusty and it has. They say there's some kind of like dust fleas they call them on there, but I don't know. I never get bumps from work. I've heard other people getting them, but I don't know. That's weird. But I don't know. It's kind of an odd way to start off a discussion on. It's not even Bigfoot related, but it's all good. I'm just on here for fun right now, anyway. Because that way, if anyone had any questions, I don't know if anyone was expecting to see anything tonight, anyway. But a few people I think were, but I don't know. Ty Chapman, she never replied back to me when I gave her the same message I sent you. I didn't hear back from her. I heard back. Hold on. I'm trying to check my Facebook from my phone now. I think Donna's trying to get herself situated because she didn't know I was going to do this, and I wasn't really planning on doing this. I just thought of it for the last minute when I asked you about it. I figured, I said, why not? It ain't gonna hurt nothing. So. So, anything new with you as far as the Bigfoot world or anything, any activity?
Yeah, we had a little bit last couple of days actually.
Sweet.
Neighbor's son come down and sit there talking, and I have a airsoft gun that shoots plastic BBs, and I'll shoot them off here into the woods. And I shot a couple down there, and all of a sudden we hear something hit the roof up there. Bang! Poor boy got jumped out of his skin. Oh, man, there must have been something down there. I got stirred up pretty good. But last night I was sitting out here and I heard up to the where the road is. I heard something yell. Um,
Huh.
It sounded like a person, but I don't think it was a person, but it sounded like a ow. Did it one time, and that was it.
Huh.
I don't know how far off it was. I couldn't judge it. It's just there's so many leaves on the trees, and it's so thick through here. It's really hard to judge sound right now.
Yeah, especially
It's easier.
yeah. Yeah, because you have all the hills and mountains where any kind of vocalizations are most likely to like bounce off the ridges and stuff, and well, plus carry a long ways as well. I know, like there's one spot in my main area. Well, there's a couple spots actually now that I think about it, but depends on where you're at, how high you might be at. Well, I notice when I give off vocalizations, I love my echo. There's one mainly the lake. The lake is where I get my echo. If you shout hard enough, you actually hear an echo pretty good. Some places you hear a slight echo in here and there, but so usually I figure if I'm hearing an echo, I mean, an echo pretty much is your voice carrying, like, or I guess more or less bouncing off you know, the ridges and stuff, but you think it's going to be heard somewhere, but but I don't know. Then again, it's like if we're out in the woods and we shout to each other, um, I don't know. Could we hear each other? And I think in some situations depends on where you're at and if we can be heard. But um, if you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm not really explaining that right. Like like if we assume that we're in within distance, reasonable distance of each other, and then we try to shout at each other. Like I've done it on different field tests and stuff before, and I'll communicate to the other person through radio. I said, "Did you hear that?" No. I said, "Really? That was pretty loud." Stuff like that, But uh, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of times if I'm out in the woods and stuff, I'll give off a whoop or something, but I don't get too loud with it. I try to keep it normal in a regular tone, but yeah. Um, shoot. Let's see what we got going on. Well, I was gonna try to go out there this weekend, but my daughter is actually already making plans for me. Yeah, because she knows this week I get paid this week, so um, she's she's basically stripped me for whatever I have left over after paying things. She's like, "Daddy, we got to go to the mall," because after when is it? I went to the mall a couple weekends ago, my last pay period, and you know, we did some school shopping. I got her some clothes and stuff. But this time she said, "Daddy, I'm telling you, I don't need clothes. We're just gonna go get some jewelry." Okay, when she says jewelry, I said, "Okay, it's no big deal," because most people when they think of jewelry, they think of expensive stuff. Well, the places she goes, the stuff she likes, is very inexpensive. Stuff that young kids like trinkets and stuff like that. But yeah, but shoot, yeah. There's one thing I was gonna kind of bring up, but I got to thinking. I said maybe it's probably best to leave it alone, especially live anyway, because you know it's what you were sharing with me earlier. I think maybe it's you know because I know me and Greg, we've actually talked and discussed with the other situation with the others. If you know what I'm talking about. We he kind of threw some sense in there. Pointed out a few things that he made sense of to me, and we felt it's more professional or best to actually leave it alone. And let them keep making fools of themselves and just leave it alone. So because yeah, I think the way I see it, the right people will know or observe that they're wrong. What they're doing. This I guess more or less for us to carry on and go about what we're doing. You know. Yeah, because I'll be honest with you. What made it hard for me. The way I kept coming back and announcing who said this, who did that. When I kept throwing stuff out there, it was because I guess there was a part of me that felt like I was like my work, everything I've been presenting was gonna go downhill, or because I feel like I personally worked hard to present it and or get the knowledge to present it or whatever, and everything, every little thing, even though it doesn't look like or sound like a big deal to some people, like I feel like I put a lot into it, and I was just afraid that it was I don't know what's the right word to use. It was at jeopardy. That's the way I look at it. I felt like it was at jeopardy. And I guess I was kind of ignorant to a few things. Like I was worried about reputation. From what other people are saying. Yeah, it with rumors that went around. Yes, it affected others to go along with those. The ones spreading everything, and those they formed their own little clique. And from what you shared with me earlier, that we're not going to put out here, it's basically it's summing up what that little clique is all about, as far as I'm concerned. Um, it's like they're kind of a bunch of jump on one person and make them look stupid kind of thing. Basically, that's what it was. I mean, um, you know, but when meanwhile, most of us in the Bigfoot world or community were we love to have fun with what we do, but we at the same time we do try to keep that level of professionalism, you know, but again, like still have fun with everything. Um, so hey,
Well,
we finally got
the
a
one thing I'm gonna
uh,
the one thing I'm
yeah.
gonna
Go
say
ahead.
is before people start off at the mouth, they should know someone's history and why they do what they do and the reasons they do it,
Right,
and why things are done a certain way. I've walked many, many a mile in these woods of research because I'm physically unable to do it at this moment. Do it again, but right now I can. I'm not physically able to walk. I can walk short distances with me when I walk.
right,
And the one thing I enjoy doing is making my videos because of because of the research I've done, and I'm not telling people to agree with me. Opinions is what I've come across. I'm not
right.
saying the right. I'm not saying the wrong. It's my opinion. But to come out and trash me and point blank do what you did was wrong.
Right.
And that's all I'm gonna say about it. And that's all I've got to say. Maybe there's a reason why people do what they do, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever really make sense of any of it though, I mean, um I mean cuz like I I can kind of get, like I said, it's easy to get into that kind of discussion there without mentioning or throwing names or anything else out there, but it's uh yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess it would entice the others to keep throwing back. Meanwhile, I guess like we shared, just let them keep on throwing because, like you said, they don't know nothing about you. They don't know your history. They don't, they haven't walked in your shoes. You know, um, it's funny when Donna would jumped in on here. It kind of I thought of a topic I wanted to present. Now I shared some information with Donna earlier today. Uh, Donna, do you remember those screenshots I was sharing to you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll fill Steve in and the viewers. Well, I'll even, well, just, I guess it doesn't matter. She was sharing it because this one woman was sharing information to me because she was concerned. Her first response, I may not say it word for word, exactly, but, it's basically what she was saying. She started off telling me through Messenger. She said, "I think I have to stop my Bigfoot research. Something about I was being stalked or something. I think
Oh,
I'm
she
being
talked
stalked."
to me too.
Oh, so you know who I'm talking about? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So
Poor
yeah,
thing.
I had a conversation. I discussed with her and everything. I said, well, you may have something going on there. It sounds pretty suspicious, but I said, are you sure it's Bigfoot? I said, you can't say it's Bigfoot related. I said, there's a bunch of crazy, there's crazy people. I was more or less, saying, I don't know. I wanted to say more. I was just trying to gather more information from her, but she kept responding and saying stuff, And I don't know. She sent me a big giant thing because I asked her a couple of little questions about stuff, and but I told her, I said, look, I said, there's a lot that we deal with. If you, I told her, I said, if you feel like it's Bigfoot related, I said it comes with the territory. As far as people mocking you is one thing, but the stalking you thing, I said, I'm not sure about that. That might be totally off the subject though. I mean that's how I felt. I understood her concern. She felt like maybe she was because she was putting what she does out there, and I guess she was making it known with her neighbors and whoever. And
Well, she made a mistake, Daniel. She really did. You know,
yeah,
she brought an outsider in, and then they brought somebody else in. And
right,
when you do that, you don't know what you're bringing in.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Well, I know the one
and
individual she did invite there. I mean, I don't know him like that well. I have chatted with him. He seems like an okay guy. If it's I don't know if you know him. I don't out here.
uh,
I can't remember his last name, but I'll throw his name up right here on the chat for all of us to see. Um, yeah.
hey, bro, you gotta look good without that damn do rag on.
Let's see. Hey guys, we have a whole two viewers. Ain't that something?
Hey,
Hey, that's not bad considering I didn't advertise this. I mean, because I wanted to do the live the new radio show, but yeah, like since we got a couple of viewers, I'll throw it out there again. Why? Because I started off the show trying to explain. Um, yeah, on my new radio blog talk show that I'm hosting, I try to throw a show up tonight. Um, yeah, I was gonna do a show tonight. I was gonna go live. It wouldn't let me go live. The reason behind that was because I had already scheduled a show for this week that's already put in scheduled for Saturday. um, which it's only going to be 30 minutes long because I can only do 30 minutes at this current time. So Saturday, um, July 30th, believe it or not, it's actually scheduled for. It's going to be a late night. That way, everyone's usually out during the day, doing their thing, and I scheduled it for 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because the other day I was having trouble getting the Eastern Standard Time settings right, and I think I finally got it right. But at the same time, I have to go with what available times are, what available times they give me for that time. There's other times I could get, but I'm not a premium account holder or a member yet. But yeah, for Saturday, I figured 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time would be good. Because that's what 8 o'clock. No 9. No 8 o'clock for if you're over there on the other side, West Coast or something. But um, so yeah, Saturday I already had that scheduled. It's just going to be some simple Bigfoot talk. Um, yeah, I think that should be easy for you to get on, Steve. Donna, I don't know if you'd be interested in getting on. I could have up to 5 people on there at one time. Um, see, it's going to be yeah. I guess the 5 is including me. I'm not sure. I have to double check on that. But hmm. All right. And yeah, once you click the link, or you could just go by the regular call-in number. And if there's a call-in number, like I was experimenting with it yesterday with Steve. I told Steve, I gave Steve this number. I said, Steve, call this number when I tell you to. Then I get on there, and then I got two screens open up. He says, I can hear your voice. I said, yeah, I see there's a call coming in. He said, yeah, that's me. I said, okay. I had to figure out how to, I had to hook myself up or get myself situated. And then I had to figure out how to, like, which one answers the call. There was like several options next to the number. And so, yeah, we finally got it. So that was
how
interesting. That
many
was fun.
how many viewers do you have right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
there's actually 4 showing up right now.
I don't want to get you in any conflicts of being reported. Donna, the music they were playing, I swear, was WGAY. See if she catches on to that. The music that they were playing here, he had me on hold for 20 minutes, and I swear the music, oh my God, I thought I was stuck in an elevator.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know what music they were playing on there. I thought it was like, was it really what, elevator music?
I don't know. It was something. It wasn't what I'm used to. I don't know.
I don't know. I had no idea. I last time I last time I was on a call, waiting to go on. Um, when I was on night callers, of course, when you're on hold, you can hear everybody talking. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. But on the scheduled show that I have for Saturday, when we do go live, when that does start, um, I did start I have set up on there. There'll be an intro, automatic intro that'll start at the beginning of our live radio show. So I don't know, it's something I came up with earlier. I'll use it temporarily, to see how it works out. But it's a little bit of music in there, and then I don't know. I'll get one better later on, but I've been browsing through trying to find something. So yeah, Saturday night, July 30th, July 30th at 11 p.m. So um, right now we're showing 3 viewers, but I will throw it out there, viewers. If you have any questions, for whatever reason, we're just on here being nonchalant, just kind of open discussion on things. Uh, some of it's random. But if you have any questions, feel free. Anything you want to talk or discuss, if because I didn't, like I said, I wasn't. Oh, we got 5 viewers now. I wasn't planning this podcast tonight. I just thought it was a spare of the moment kind of thing. Um, but while I'm rambling on, let's see. I'll ask
Hey,
Donna. Oh no, go
I'm
ahead. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Let's talk about Bigfoot. I don't know what you're going to ask, but let's talk Bigfoot tonight.
Yeah.
People watching, let's talk Bigfoot. You know, people talk about them having a foot like ours and not having like a primate foot, like a regular, like our hand, like a primate, like gorillas have like our hand, the chimpanzees.
Oh yeah.
Well, gorillas get about what 400 pounds at best, 300, 400 pounds,
Yeah.
and I mean they
Oh
get pretty
yeah.
good, but they climb. They definitely climb trees.
Right.
Same with chimpanzees. Well, they're a lot smaller. Now let's talk about Sasquatch.
Hmm.
Sasquatch is what 800 pounds and plus, and
Yeah.
from
Estimated.
anywhere full grown anywhere from 10 to 11. I don't think they go much over 12 foot, but that's just my thing. So why would they need a foot to climb with? They're big enough to just stay on the ground and take care of themselves.
Right.
Let me say something.
So
It takes
I don't,
it takes a,
huh?
wait a minute. It takes a solid, firm foundation to hold up a taller building. That's my
That's
opinion.
true. That's true. So they right. So how stable would a foot like that be on an 800-pound animal? So even like that. So our toes, we have a big toe that's up here with the regular toes for balance,
Hmm.
and we have the rest of the foot behind it. So to walk on bipedal. Gorillas are not bipedal.
Right.
Gorillas are knuckle walkers. So of course they would not have human feet. I mean, gorillas don't have human feet. So that explains why Bigfoot or Sasquatch have human type feet
Right.
instead of having primate type feet. Because
Well,
I heard
just
that come up in a conversation.
yeah, my quick theory behind that, I don't know. This is just a theory or more or less of an opinion. You know, I think a lot. Just like our human bodies, I guess our skeletal structure, anywhere, especially from the spine and our spine and the way everything and the nerves, everything connect and everything. Um, as far as everything's more enhanced in growth and size, muscle mass. I don't know. I just think the way they're built probably about 3 to 10 times. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I know it sounds crazy, but just 3 to 10 times more than what we have, especially the support. I guess you could say their weight, their mass, bigger bone. They're definitely bigger boned. The bigger bone is, I guess, more supported. To support that muscle, well, plus the muscle and supports everything else, the weight and so forth. But I don't know. I don't know if that made any sense. I was just saying, it's what's in my head. I can't only throw out there properly.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. um. Quick question. I'm sure we could all answer this. Quick question on the live chat. Black Death from Canada is asking. He's just curious. He said, "Do you support kill or no kill?" And I think I could probably speak for all of us. Correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely no kill. But then again, I don't know. You said something different maybe on that at one point.
I don't. I'm not going to go out and shoot one. I
Right.
don't. I'm not. I don't think they're killing an animal just to prove its existence. But it's going to take a body to prove its existence. Whether it
Mm-hmm.
be hit by a car or some crazy ass hunter shoots one, that's what it's going to take. I'm not going to do it unless it comes after me and I have to defend my life. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going to happen.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I really do. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, or like you said, it takes a body, or regardless of how that's going to happen, it does need one. Um, hold on one second, guys. Okay, never mind. I thought I had a knock at my door. um, let's see. I'm trying to think. Let me read. I can't see it on my phone too well. All right. Do you think we are getting any nearer to finding out what the various tree structures mean? Steve, I'll let you jump on that one.
You know, until you get somebody to do what Jane Goodall did, that can go in the woods and sit down with a video camera and 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 get in there and observe these creatures in their daily activity and actually film what they do and why it's being done and how it's being done. I don't see how it's going to happen. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even with the body, we're not going to know what structures mean.
Right.
We're going to have. It's going to take somebody to go in there and physically live with these creatures, where they're going to have to accept their presence and go through their everyday uh, duties, and they're just going to have to just sit there and film them. And I'm not saying for a week. I'm talking about for months to years, and just and really study them.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a long time.
Yeah. What about you, Donna? What do you think? Any of them mean?
Structures? You talk about structures?
Structures. Yeah. As far as meaning, yeah. Like, do you have any theory or opinion you want to share on based on what you mean, what you believe they may have, what their meanings are?
I think that there's not really that much changed by them. I mean, I think that they might have their beds and such like that, but I don't really think they break all that much. I'm feeling that way here lately.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that they find, like the so-called canopies, I think that they find an area that has something like that already there. And it seems to all have the same look. And like the fallen logs with the moss on it and all that. But if you step over to that area, it's a few degrees cooler than what it is 3 feet away.
Right.
So they're looking for, and as far as, I'm sure they make some kind of structures here and there, but I don't think they change all that much.
Yeah. I think I've spoken a few times on and off about structures, or my opinion about structures, and if the way I've discussed and shared about structures in the past. Actually, I spoke on them not long ago through one of my recent webcasts. Um, well, you got to be careful when it comes to structures. There's a lot that we got to be careful of, especially when we see things. I take pictures of stuff I find interesting all the time. Doesn't When I take a picture and I post it and share it on social media, I'm not claiming it's a Sasquatch structure, but it's something I found odd and yet I found interesting. But the thing is, we got to try to study it and analyze it to the best of our ability, regardless of what knowledge we have of anything. But we got to try to figure out, is it weather? Okay, like one of my most recent field video from this past weekend. I use that for educational purposes. Everything I found, like the uprooted tree that was pushed over with the broken tree limbs, everything I pointed out was all. I was making a lot of opinion about things, but I was also stating the facts that are also possibilities of what I was finding, especially related to bear, because I was finding bear signs all the way through there. But when it comes to structures and everything, you know, a lot of these are formed through nature. A lot of these are formed through other wildlife, bears, etc. Through a period of time, age of trees, when things rot, and then the weather plays a key role in the combination of all of it. Sometimes when things collapse and fall and the pieces come together, they actually form things that would blow our mind. So I mean, these are things we got to really be careful on when we're speculating or making, trying to make a claim to other people, saying, "Hey, this is a Bigfoot structure." We don't know that because we didn't see that, you know. And that kind of goes along with the next question that I saw on the live chat. Like, why do you think we've never seen them make one? Well, that's kind of I don't know. It's a good question, and I mean, perhaps they do them at nighttime, and we're not around at night. We're not even hardly out there enough during the daytime. Never mind at night, but just in the right place at the right time, I guess. But, oh, let me answer this question. This is coming from Nikki. Nikki calling. Nikki, no, we attempted to do the show. It wouldn't let us go live. All due to the fact that I actually had a scheduled show for this week, which is Saturday, July 30th at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, I have to reschedule Ty and Corey for next week, and I have to be careful about that. So, make sure I don't schedule no one else ahead of them. So, but yeah, we'll get that worked out with them. Yeah. And just for the record, I can only do 30-minute episodes at this current time. So we're going to try to push and throw a lot of information out in a quick 30 minutes. 30 minutes is my max to upgrade on to my blog talk radio account. So, but yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if I was cutting anybody off in the matter of my rambling. But I was trying to pay attention at the same time to the live chat. So.
Hey, let me say this about structures too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hunt private property, and I put up wood. I cut down trees, and I put up wood and put up pine to make my own blinds on the ground. So who wouldn't do that on public property?
Right.
So what you think is a structure could very well easily be a hunter's blind.
Exactly.
So anything is possible, especially on public land. Anything is possible on public land.
It's funny you say that because I've meant to show that, and I think I don't know. I probably do an update thing on structures because I mean one of the things I mentioned about structures in one of my webcasts, and that's one thing I haven't gotten around to. And maybe we could do something. We could work something out together, and we could all participate on that. Because I actually have some structures that are actually blinds, and they were found on public property. I'm glad you kind of brought that up. I know of two right offhand, but actually I did share one of them discussing them, where if a fellow Bigfoot believer or whatever came across it, well, as I believe a lot of people will say, this is a Bigfoot shelter. Well, I had to go on to explain why I believed it was man-made. And when I said man-made, the location I found it, yeah, it was pretty far into the woods, but at the same time, I've seen hunters out there. I've gone through there, hiking or hunting. Um, so yeah, I believe, and it's actually overlooking a little clearing too. So after putting two to two together, a hunter used, just all the natural fall, fallen timber to do a lean, and then took all these other broken limbs and other broken stuff and threw it on there just to look like it's natural to blend in with everything around it. But yeah, if you would have come across it, I was actually fooled by. I ain't gonna lie, I was actually fooled by this. So I mean, I was excited when I first found it. Then more and more, I started looking back on the pictures because I took it at different angles, and I got to think. I said, man, it's a hunter's blind. I said, there's hunters hunt in that area during the hunting season. So, but yeah, and then I came across something else that looks like an awesome looking teepee. I mean, it's probably about, I don't know, I'm guessing 6.5 to 7 feet tall, but it's like going like this, but it only has the front part, maybe more like cup your hands like this, and it's more like that there. But through the trees that are leaning up like this in the front, you can see out, and especially where it's at, it's actually overlooking a field. This one here is actually a field that's way out in the middle of the woods. I mean, a field that you would never guess would think that expected, or actually uh, would be out there. Um, so yeah, maybe that's something we could try to do
I
together.
can tell you, if I'm going hunting on public land, I'm going as far away from people as I can go. I'm going up on a ridge, and especially turkey hunting and deer hunting. I want to be camouflaged with natural surroundings, with something that they're not going to, that they see all the time. I'm gonna make it out of natural things. So I mean, you know, to me, it's just so possible.
Right.
That it's human.
Um, there's another question right here in the live chat. Um, and this question here, I just recently addressed this in one of my webcast shows. I'll let you guys jump on this one after I read it off. It's actually the way it's addressed. It's addressed to all of us. But has any of you guys ever been zapped, as they say out in the field?
No, no.
You want me to answer this one?
Go ahead, Steve.
All right. Zap is not the word I'm going to use. I don't believe in zap. That sounds like some outer space crap.
Right,
Now
right.
I'm gonna say I believe in infrasound. And infrasound is very possible in animals. Infrasound means low frequency sound waves. And if an animal can project that sound wave, it can cause nausea, it can cause headaches, it can cause a lot of different things. Yes, an animal can project sound waves and make you feel sick. It doesn't have to do it. But the word zap is just not something I like to hear. It just makes me feel like you're talking about George Jetson crap.
No, yeah. I'm trying to think the best way to say this because if anyone, whoever's viewing, I mean, because I think that's gonna continue to be a question or a topic that's going to be presented in post or anything, or I'm sure we're going to hear from other people being zapped. Most of what I gathered up, what people are meaning or referring to being zapped, I've heard this from more than one person. Because I thought it was just the one who kept saying his brain was being burned. Well, I've heard it from other people. I've heard different forms of what supposedly zap means. Well, the zap thing, like what Steve explained, you know, we yeah, we believe in infrasound. Infrasound could cause different effects, especially on the human body. It could cause nausea or a slight illness and other pressures and other defects and stuff and so forth. Um, as far as the way I've heard people say their brains being burned, like it's like their brain is literally on fire. Infrasound will not do that. As far as my research and studies, I haven't seen anything. Everything I researched that refers infrasound to the human body, well, yeah, it will cause illness. Illness is one thing. Nausea is the closest thing I can come to it for any discomfort. Um, you know, Without looking at my notes, I can't really give you more explanations. But look at one of my webcasts. Check that out. See what your opinion is on what I present on my webcast. It was infrasound. It was cryptid news. Go into my playlist. Look up cryptid news and research presented. Um, go through them. You might find that interesting. But yeah, as far as being zapped, no, I never experienced anything like that, and I don't think the panel members have either. Um, I mean, I think a lot of people. I don't know. I think my opinion, and this is something I do recall sharing in my webcast. If people are experiencing these kind of pains and these behavior or whatever these occurrences while out in the woods, my honest thing is, and I even said this, like I said, I said this on my webcast. Go have yourself checked out. Go get a physical, because apparently they have a health problem. I mean, that's what I said. There's something else causing that illness. There's a lot that could cause infrasound effects in the forest, especially if you're in the mountains and woods. And one of the things I shared it towards the end of the webcast, and this I wasn't aware of it till I came across it, and I was actually, man, this would make kind of a lot of sense. But when you're in the woods, especially depending on where you live, if you got hills and mountains and ridges all around you, sometimes you have downwinds or not winds, but you have this low pressure air that comes down. You know, the pressures and the airflow that we don't. It causes pressure and stuff, and there's effects that will hit our bodies a certain way, causing us to feel sick and ill and nausea. Um, but there's all kinds of things in the world itself that will cause infrasound, regardless if we hear it or feel it. But um, but yeah, as far as infrasound, that's something you definitely want to.
Let me add something else to this, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only the infrasound, but being in the middle of the woods, you're surrounded by trees and pollen and nature. And if you're susceptible to sinus infections and sinuses, you can get a sinus headache. You can get the nausea from your sinuses just a lot easier than you may in your own house because you're surrounded more by it. So
Right.
it could be a sinus thing. I mean, it could be anything. So it's. But I don't think these things have supernatural powers. I don't think you're dealing with anything from outer space or anything like that. No.
Now, I know when I was preparing myself to do the webcast about the infrasound, yeah, it was called infrasound versus being zapped. Well, infrasound was my main focus or topic about being, as far as for the show. I more or less wanted to kind of explain what infrasound and the effects that infrasound had. Um, from one thing I did come across, infrasound, a lot of animals, a lot of people think of whales and dolphins, you know, those basic animals having infrasound. Or in elephants, of course. Elephants use infrasound through their feet. Um, but I was actually surprised that I learned a lot more number of animals use infrasound and in different ways. But the main source or the main source of what infrasound is used for is communicating. Um, Scientists they're actually doing studies. They do studies all the time to learn about what animals produce what and what could hear this or feel this. And I was actually impressed that there was a great list. And for the record, I did throw that out there that there was one primate. There was a primate that uses infrasound, but it's actually an infrasound part of their. It's a low frequency yell or scream that they actually produced that only the others could hear. It's a
Tiny thing.
small. What's that?
It's a little tiny thing. It's
Oh,
a little tiny little thing. It's not big.
yeah, yeah, the little tarsier. Tarsier. It
Yeah.
looks like a. I don't know how would you. I don't see how they get how that is actually a primate. I mean, it's just
It looks
don't
like
even
a
look.
sugar glider.
Yeah,
I
something is
guess it kind
weird.
of reminds me of a sugar glider or something small like that.
But yeah, I was surprised to know. I mean, they are. It is a primate, and they do use infrasound. So I mean,
And And the animal doesn't have to be close to you. Infrasound can actually travel miles and miles.
Yeah,
It's not something that has to be close to you. I
absolutely.
found that out too. It can hit you from miles away.
Like for example, elephants, they could locate a herd 10 miles away.
Yep.
10 miles. I mean, to us, as far as travel distance, that's not far at all. But by foot, that's a long ways. Shoot, I thought I've hiked. I mean, yeah, I've hiked anywhere from 2 to 6 miles at one time. I mean, as far as in the woods, I might have hiked more, but as far as straight direct shots, yeah, 2 to 6 miles on foot. That's actually a long ways. You know, just by walking it, and especially being out in the sun. I had to walk all the way from my camp up to the store when my blazer broke down. But so, but uh, hold on, let me check the live chat because I had to go off screen to look at something because something had popped up I wanted to check into.
Yeah, back in my day, we all drove Fords. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ah, that hurt. that hurt my feelings.
I'm just kidding. I had
Oh,
a
I gotta.
Chevrolet once.
Oh Lord, what do you drive, Donna?
Chevy.
Okay.
See?
I have one coworker that sticks up for me at work. Yeah, she's a young girl. She's like 20. She just turned 23. It's funny because people hear her talk and joke with me about me driving a Chevy. Everyone else is either Ford, Dodge, or whatever. And she heard something being said, and she jumped into something. She got in there and defended Chevy. And of course, she had to turn around and show us her big Chevy tattoo on her, back shoulder or whatever on her back. But yeah. But yeah, there's some of us Chevy people. I don't see. I'm not like that with other people. I do joke. I know. I think it's funny when people joke about me driving a Chevy and that happens.
What's
You know,
the
I
what's that
I got it.
Chevy emblem called? What's the Chevy emblem called?
What's it called?
Yeah, the Chevy emblem. What's it called?
A bow tie.
The, yeah. Sissies wear bow ties.
Hey, I know some really respectable
I'm just
people
kidding.
that I
I'm
know.
just kidding.
I
I
know.
drive a Mini Cooper.
Nuh-uh. Really?
I drive a Mini Cooper. I bought my wife a Mini Cooper for her 50th birthday. I drive a Mini Cooper around everywhere I go.
Wait, all right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know what I think. All right, a Mini Cooper. I think my sister had one of them.
Yeah.
Um. Oh no, I'm thinking about those Steve Urkel cars.
Oh no, but it's made by BMW. It is made by BMW, but it's
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, hold on. Oh, we got something new
6 speed
here.
supercharged motor.
Hmm. Nincompoop
I got
jumped
a,
on
I
here.
got electrical. Oh, Nika Poop. How you doing, brother? I guess your brother. How you doing?
All right, he says. All right, this is what. All right, he says my bitch is this. Researchers spend their time in the woods looking for sign structures. All right, wait, looking for sign. Structure is a waste of time. Looking at ground for prints is, in my opinion, distraction, unless you're cutting a hot track. Well, that kind of makes some sense. You know, yeah, because as far as structures, I come across structures just through my observations. I'm not specifically looking for structures. I'm just looking for anything that stands out of the ordinary. Um, but but yeah, I get what you're saying, Nick. I mean that makes sense. Thing is,
The sad thing is, if you catch one moving and you get a blurry picture, it's a blob squatch.
yeah,
If you get it and it's the beautifulest high school picture of yearbook quality, it's a hoax,
yeah, I
and
know.
that's just the way it's going to fold.
I've thought that thing. I've thought about that a whole lot. I really have. I've given that a lot of thought. And my opinion is, I said, what if I get that shot? Is it worth sharing? I mean, the thing is, regardless if I share it, I mean, you got to expect, you're going to get all kinds of ridicule about it, regardless if people want to believe it or not. Um, So yeah, that's going to be a big. That's why a lot of photo evidence is very inconclusive. Um, I mean, there has been some clear images that actually been debunked through through a period of time through observations. Like you guys recall that one with there was a picture with a dog in the video. Oh, well, not the video, but the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been debunked.
No. Has it?
Yeah, because they
Oh.
actually found we did a comparison. I think it was. I'm trying to think. It was on one of our podcasts that we've had, and I can't remember who found the image or found it, but there was actually a costume, pictures of a costume. I think we did a screen share shot of the comparisons of the two of them together, and they were. It looked like you were looking at the same picture. um, but yeah, one was a costume, one was the image with the dog in it. The thing is, there was red flags in there to us before we even threw that up there. The red flags were the dog's right there. The dog's like not really caring less. The dog, looked like he was like with his owner, more or less, hanging around nonchalant. Um, oh, okay. He's going on to say, in my opinion, clear pictures would surface. You could prove. Hold on. He said you could prove. I'm getting tongue tied trying to speak. You could prove real as well as fake. Yes, with a question mark. Um, hmm. I don't know if he's asking or can you prove real as yeah or whatever. Okay.
Like for instance, my video.
What's that now?
My video. Something big lives here.
Okay. Is that the one I
That's
is
real.
that
That is real. So
yeah, is
y'all
that
need
the
to
one
try to debunk that for me. Go ahead, challenge. Because it's
Now
real.
is that the one where
Prove it.
I did a still shot for you and put your name in it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. It's funny. I need to put that on my computer and watch it because when I did that, that was all through my phone. Yeah, that was not on my
Wow.
computer. I need to put that up on a big screen. I'll put it on my computer here later on. So just remind me later because I forget day to day on some things unless I write it down, make notes of it.
There you go. You and I both know a man who has 3 minutes of Sasquatch on a video and will not share it because when he shared something before, he got ridiculed so bad that he will not post it. He will not put it up.
You're talking about Mr. Stump, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Dave, he's actually. I like him. He seems like a pretty straightforward, pretty
Yep.
cool guy. I like him. Um, yeah, he posted still shots. I, I can't make no honest, statement on it. I mean, I can speculate on it. Yeah, there's definitely a figure there. There's no denying there is a humanoid figure in there. But but I haven't. Yeah, like you said, he hasn't released a video, so I don't know. Um, I guess to see more of the humanoid figure in movement. So, um, hold on. There's more that popped up here. Nincompoop says you could prove you have a picture of a real dog. Why not Bigfoot? Then Nikki said no, you can't. And Nincompoop says,
Okay.
huh?
Okay. Well, look at Patty. Look at the Patty film. How many people think it's real? How many people? It's so split. For everybody that you have that thinks it's real, there's somebody that thinks it's a hoax. The Freeman
Right,
film, same thing. For somebody that thinks the Freeman film's real, there's somebody that thinks it's hoax. It's
right.
going to be that way over and over again.
Yeah. Now, like, yeah, that's a good point. Because, for example, on the Patterson footage, I mean, viewing it for, all right. This is the way I put it. I've stated before that I believe it's real. That doesn't make it real. So that's a opinion. And there's plenty to make speculation on. But also, in my opinion, I believe there's some evidence to support it being real, But then again, you have other I don't know what's the right word, allegations or other statements that are there to support it being possible a hoax. The thing is, people, there's more. You got a more of a crowd wanting to believe more of it being authentic and real, versus the ones that want to deny the possibility of it not being real. Because you have the gentleman that claimed to have come forward, took a polygraph test, said he was the man in the suit, but you really, I don't know was he lying or why would he say that? There's things that all there it raises more questions on top of questions. So it's all a matter of opinion. And then like as far as the tracks that were found and analyzed, like Jeff Meldrum has original copies of the cast and he made statements about them. So I mean I don't know. I know that doesn't make it concrete. That doesn't make it official that it's real because you know it's all I think it's all opinion and speculation and but yeah I mean but yeah what Nick and Poop says you could have a picture of a real dog. You could prove you have a picture of a real dog. You could prove it could be real that you have a picture of a dog. It's a matter of opinion if it's real or not. But I mean you're gonna have people saying either way. So it kind of raises questions like unless you're there with a dog. I mean, there's so many. You know, I could have a picture with one of our cats. We got cats. We've had dogs, but I could take a picture with one of the cats. You know, it may appear to be real, but at the same time, it could be a toy. It could be one of my daughter's toys or something. um, and Nick and Poop is actually asking Nikki a question. He said, "How about video, Nikki?" Hold on, then two more things jumped up after that. We're already all right. Black Death says, "So playing devil's advocate. So do you think certain people in the Bigfoot community who believes in, for example, portals and dimensions are just wrong, hoaxers, or bull?" He said, "I watched them all, by the way." And then Nikki, she was stating something about. She said, look at the best Patterson Gimlin footage. Still not everyone believes it. Yeah, that's very true. Uh, see, and then good cameras and editing effed it up for everyone, Nick and Poop says. But I'm trying to go back to what Black Death was saying. So playing devil's advocate, do you think certain people in the Bigfoot community who believe in portals and dimensions are just wrong, hoaxers, or both? Well, this kind of goes. You guys could jump in on this one too, but I wanted to share this. This kind of goes along with part of what I was in one of my other podcasts, or excuse me, webcasts that I uploaded. It was speaking about facts, speculation, and then the word hoaxers with question marks. This is how I've been trying to be careful how I present stuff, and this is how I went about doing it. For example, what people are claiming as fact is no more than speculation. And for example, if you're trying to explain to them or you're trying to put it out there, educate people, when you have speculation, it's just a matter of opinion. It's a possibility of something that can be. There's nothing, unless you have something to support it being what you're saying it is, well, that you have that concrete, undeniable evidence where the whole world will acknowledge it, then maybe it could be, then it might be fact. But when you keep making speculation, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. When you keep making fact out of something that's no more than speculation, facts are facts have evidence to support it, to back it up. Other words, stating it is either was or is true at one point or another. The thing is, with people claiming that broken tree is a Bigfoot related, and this is what it means. That's speculation. There's no proof on saying that's a Bigfoot. That's speculation. But when you try to explain to people and give them simple terminology and education on little things like that, but they want to continue say that and make these blunt claims, Bigfoot did this, Bigfoot did that, Bigfoot's responsible for everything broken in the woods, that's speculation. And they continue to do that, and more or less they're actually making themselves look like a hoaxer. When, yeah, there's other uneducated people that will go along with it that don't know any better. I mean, the thing is, and maybe the one who is continually stating fact from speculation, maybe they don't even know better themselves. I don't know. I think that's maybe a different situation. But the thing is, when you present and teach people what speculation is, and they continue to do it and state it as fact, I think that's just wrong. In my opinion, it's wrong. It's not right, because in my sense, they need a little bit more real common sense. And I'm not trying to, the way I present a lot of what I put out there, yeah, it sounds like it's directed towards people, but the thing is, it's not just one or two. It's all over the Bigfoot community, and it gets out of hand. And people got to understand, when you're stating these claims, where's your evidence? That's the one thing you got to ask. Even me, I've been wrong in the past. I made statements and claims in the past, and I stated this several times in my recent webcast. I've been wrong about a lot of things, but I'm trying to correct it. And when I'm trying to correct it, I'm trying to throw it out to other people, so maybe they might, be humble enough to correct themselves. Some people are stuck having this pride where they don't want to be wrong, and so that creates another problem. But especially if they want to be real and they're serious about what they're trying to do in the Bigfoot world, you need to be careful how you present or make a claim. If you're going to make a claim stating that as fact, you got to show the evidence. That's just, that's my opinion. um, but
Can I chime in on this?
yeah, absolutely.
Black Death, this is just me, my personal opinion. This doesn't reflect on the other two. I go to church every Sunday. I worship God. I've never seen God. Never seen anything to make me think there is a God, and to think he's even real. But I do go to church and I worship God. I do believe it's real. And there's a lot of things in this universe that we don't know. Because I can't comprehend it doesn't mean it's not possible. I'm not going to call anybody a hoaxer. I'm not going to call anybody, anything. Just because I don't think it's possible, which that's my personal opinion. I think these are just wild animals in the woods that for whatever reason haven't been discovered, and the government doesn't want us out here discovering them. I I have a problem comprehending the portal thing. Is it impossible? Nothing's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Anything is possible. But right now, I can't comprehend it being possible. I don't believe it's possible, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. It doesn't mean it won't happen. But until it does, I don't believe it. You have to use your own judgment on what you believe and what you find, yourself to do your research and what you find is possible and what you believe. It is what it is. That's the thing I can say on my opinion.
I like that. That's well said. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah. I think in the Bigfoot world, depends on who you ask. Now, certain words keep running through my head from what I listened to Richter on his after hours with Richter. He had some pretty good guests on his shows in the past. He's had several good guests on there. One in particular, he's had Dr. Todd Disotell and Dr. Haskell Hart. He's had them both on at the same time, and and Disotell goes on to speak about he points out a lot of things based on the topics they were discussing on. But talking about Bigfoot, even though it's harder to grasp for those who have seen or experienced things. And Distel, he's a skeptic, but the thing is, when it comes to Bigfoot, there's no fact, which we have to take that. He makes a lot of sense, and I have to agree with him on that. That's why I present the way I do, because there's no proof of it. There's no evidence to support that. Now, there's some claims that I've come across where I believe this is not natural, or this is not, this could be Sasquatch. And I go on to say why I believe it could be Sasquatch. Because based off of my belief or my research on Sasquatch, we have to have a comparison. The research and study a subject such as Sasquatch, we got to find a topic or related being that we believe that Sasquatch is related to, in order to compare and understand a little bit better. For example, if we believe Sasquatch is a primate, well, we need to study and know about our primates to use that as a comparison. For example, another example is the behaviors or occurrences, events I've experienced, and so have many others. With what they're experienced, what I've experienced, we could ask what known animal does this behavior. Okay, and I've taken that and compared to our known primates. I'm not, saying Bigfoot is a primate. I believe he's a primate of some sort. I have no proof to say that he is a primate. I mean, we're considered human primates. Our known non-human primates, such as gorillas, chimpanzees, etc., yeah, they're non-human primates. So you got those who believe that he's a relic hominid of some sort, ancient human, and we don't know. I mean, it's all. I mean, there's evidence from all directions pointing towards Sasquatch being this and that. They're all fairies. But yeah, it's all just a matter of opinion, but with very little, to really compare and to believe in. But I think I'll continue to do my comparisons. It might lead me down a dead end, but at the same time, with what I'm doing with myself and what I present, in my opinion, it makes sense to me. As far as comparing Sasquatch to our non-human primates because of their behaviors and patterns, and trying to understand our known wildlife, stuff like that. The way I try to break things down and explain to the best of my ability. So what I present, and I tell people this too: don't take my word for it. Do your own homework. And sometimes I have odd ways. I have weird ways of doing my research. And then I'll try to find lame terms to break things down. And so. But all right, hold on. What else we got here on the live chat? All right. Well, what's that? Go ahead.
Good thing I don't believe in portals. Donald might come through one and come over and smack me upside the
head. Yeah. Ryan Reading, he says, you cannot always correlate known animals to Bigfoot, though. He said, how can you compare a known to an unknown when we do not even know what's what? Well, yeah, Ryan, I mean, with what I just said, because I took what I just presented, even with what Todd Dissetel was presenting, you need, if we're gonna understand Bigfoot, which we're never gonna understand Bigfoot, you need to find something. I mean, if we're gonna research Bigfoot, we gotta have some kind of basis to start our research on. We gotta try. There's nothing wrong with comparing, but by comparing, you're not claiming or stating fact on anything. You're just trying to get a better general insight on maybe more of the behaviors of what kind of subject that we're actually dealing with. Because if you ever get a chance, go watch Richter's. It's from I think it's from 2014. He had a part one, part two. But in part one, Todd Disotell's breaks down. He does a really good breakdown, and he has a lot. What he speaks in there. It's actually some good stuff. And also I'm trying to remember her name. She's a primatologist. She jumped in there, and she's actually the one who basically more or less, for those who believe it might be a primate, you got to study primates and compare. In
Is that
other
Jane
words,
Goodall?
no, it wasn't Jane Goodall. It was
Oh.
I can't remember her name for nothing. She's a young girl, primatologist.
Well,
Um,
let's look at this.
yeah.
There's 3,000 reports of Bigfoot. 3,000 or so sightings of Bigfoot. Out of those 3,000 sightings, the majority of them claim that this thing looks between a man and a monkey, or a man and an ape. You don't hear saying it looks like a man and a gorilla, a man and a bear, a man and a tiger. It looks like every report says it looks like an ape. So that's where you have that's where you can say, well, let's compare it to an ape. Everything
All right.
says it looks like an ape. That's why you compare it to an ape. If it looked like something else, you could compare it to that. But every report comes back, it looks like a man and an ape.
Mhm.
So that's why you're getting a comparison to a known primate. That's why it's getting compared to a known primate. If it
Right.
come back that it looked like something else, then it would probably be compared to that. But it's not. It's coming every report where it's where a face is seen, it comes back looking like between a man and a gorilla.
Right. Right. And that's, yeah. I like the way you broke that down. Because another thing I'll throw out there, for example, why I compare Bigfoot to our known primates. All right. I just talked about tree knocks. If we hear tree knocks, all right. If we I did all right. My webcast about tree knocks is Bigfoot doing tree knocks? Well, we do hear tree knocks and there's all kinds of occurrence and all kinds of animals or other things that create knocks in the woods. Anywhere from the weather causing the trees to sway, knocking into each other, woodpeckers tap and knock and drum. Well, then you have that other distinct knock. And I've actually gotten responses from tree knocks before. Excuse me. When you hear that distinct, hard, forced, blunt bang, wood on wood knock that's very distinct, and we believe it's a possible Bigfoot. All right, if Bigfoot's doing it, got to stop and think, what other animal does that? Well, we know our known primates do, and I went and broke that down why they do it. But my opinion is, I believe Sasquatch is doing it for a whole different reason. I believe it's a communication thing. I believe it's location signals. Even though our known primates do different things for location signals, they do yells and screams and hollers. Um, but that's another thing I use. I've had reports from more than one person hearing vocalizations, and people that know me that's been out in the woods that said, Daniel, let me tell you exactly what I heard. He says, you're not going to probably, I don't know, maybe you'll believe this, but maybe you won't. He said, what I heard sound like, his exact words were, a frickin' monkey. He said it sounded like a monkey or some kind of, primate screaming. It sounds just like a primate yell. I said, man, I would have loved to hear that. I have other sounds I've heard that were unknown that I couldn't compare, but they didn't sound primate, but they didn't sound human either. So I mean, I believe they're very distinct. They got their own sound, but I've people reported to me saying they've heard screams like a primate, like what a monkey would sound like. I said, man, that's
I heard
pretty
a
cool. I mean, but
I heard a report of a hunter was sitting in the deer stand, and he was waiting on a buck or a deer to come in, and he saw this thing coming up the ridge, and he was watching it, and it was as it walked along, it had a stick in its hand, and it would walk up to a tree and go bap 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 on the tree, and it would walk along a little further and bap bap. Well, as it got closer to him, he could really see it really good. And as it got closer, he would watch it walk. It would go up to a dead tree, and it would hit the dead tree really hard. Well, bap bap bap, and it would put its ear up to the tree. Well,
mm,
finally, it did that, and it shoved the tree over. It did it, and I guess it hurts. It pulled a possum out of that tree or a raccoon, or he pulled some kind of animal out of the tree, just tore it apart and started eating it.
mm,
So what it was doing was it was hitting that tree with that stick, and I guess whatever was in the tree would move, and it was listening to hear it move, and knew there was food in that tree.
That's pretty good. Now,
Now, Donna,
when
you've seen what two of these?
Yes.
What did it look like to you in the face?
It had like the gorilla look on the eyes. It's like the eyeballs and the eyes went. But it had a nose like ours. Only, like I said, wider and flatter pushed in. And it had ears
So,
just like ours.
hmm.
so if you compared it to a gorilla and a human, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Daniel. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I like listening to you guys. That's why, I know I don't want to sound like I'm talking away on the show. I mean, I bring you guys in here for the very same thing. I mean, I love what everyone's input. So, um, 'cause while you guys are talking, I'm actually looking at the live chat, but they're actually having a discussion amongst themselves at the moment.
Preoccupied.
Yeah, it's between Ningapoop, Ryan, Nikki, and Black Death. So, so, but oh man, but yeah, I lost my train of thought for a second. Trying to think.
But I thought that story was good about that how thing was sitting on a tree with a stick to find the food. That to me was, it wasn't communication. It's actually a way to find food, and I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, was that something local or you heard that?
I think it was the West Coast.
Ah, okay.
I think it was West Coast. I mean, I heard the story. It was on a show, and I heard the guy tell the story that actually saw it happen. But it was on the show that I was. It was
Okay,
pretty
yeah,
neat. But
yeah.
you
Nikki.
got like any story, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Nikki was saying I never heard that story. So, uh, uh, there's a lot of stuff I haven't heard either. I mean, I'm like when people, share stuff like that. It's pretty cool though, because you hear some, people I know you either hear stuff on documentaries on TV or you see something in a post or whatever. And certain things I do try to keep up with stuff and try to take notes of certain things I hear or see or read. But yeah, but sometimes people ask me about, oh, did you ever hear about this? I said, I'm not sure. Kind of explain more to me. Because maybe I have. I just not ringing a bell sometimes. So, um, hmm. Well, for those who are on the live chat, we got roughly about 20 minutes left. Do you guys have anything you want to share with us or maybe discuss on anything, get our opinion on anything? Feel free. um, but hold on, my screen keeps blacking out on my phone. Uh, 1 second. That is my job. Summer one. Uh-oh. I think she said she lost sound. Be right back. Oh, I don't know. Maybe was she trying to talk or something? I don't know. Trying to read. Trying to see if I can make sense of what they're talking about on there. Oh, here's one from Black Death. This is an interesting question. I've had this presented before, but any thoughts? Yeah, let me go. I'm going to direct this one towards you, Steve. Any thoughts on getting tongue tied again? Any thoughts on abductions or missing people?
Abductions. Famous old stories back in the day. There was what was his name? Oscar, whatever the trapper. He got kidnapped and carried off and got away from him. And uh, there's a lot of legends in the Indian culture about them being children and being females and whatnot. And You know, I don't think these things are friends. And that's just my personal opinion. I think these things are an apex predator. And you go into the woods and you just come across the wrong one at the wrong time, and he's hungry or for whatever reason, and you seem like an easy prey source. It's very possible.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't trust
Yeah.
one. I'm not gonna trust any wild animals.
Right. Exactly. I've I've always imagined. I can't say. I mean, if I ever came like during the daytime, I don't know what would happen. I don't know how I would feel. I'd probably be scared. I don't know. I don't know how. It's hard to say. If I came face to face and I was alone and no one else, I don't know how I would actually take that. You know how I'd feel. Because when you have an animal you don't know nothing about, you don't know their capabilities. I mean, you're aware of their strength, but you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know how they're looking at you. I mean, but you hear a lot of reports and stories where people come face to face and they see a Sasquatch, but the Sasquatch is usually turns, stops. If they're looking face to face, Sasquatch usually ends up walking away. Usually doesn't hang around too long. So I mean, but maybe that might be the case. I don't know. Um, like in Tracy Arnold's sighting, his encounter. I mean, it was totally unexpected, like most sightings usually are. And just the information he shared about that, he felt like the subject was crouched down, in between the opening by the bushes, and it's like I guess he felt like that subject was, I guess, more or less taken. I guess he was caught off guard, like he was, like he was like, oh shit, I got caught. He didn't mean to be seen, but he happened to be in the right place at the right time for Tracy to make that eye contact. For he stayed for 24 seconds. I remember that much. He said 24 seconds. They were eye to eye. No, excuse me. I take that back. It was 24 feet. I got that mixed up. He was 24 feet away is what he estimated, and I can't remember the time frame. It might have been 8 seconds or so. He was eye to eye with him, and he had a good look at him for I think it was 8 seconds. So, but yeah, like he stated he believes the Squatch was caught off guard, and but he before he even seen him, he said he had this presence. He felt like he knew there was something wrong, and that he just happened to turn and lock eyes on him, and I guess he was in shock, and it really hit him after he was starting to walk away, because he said when he was walking away, he was hearing the movement and the cracks and everything in the woods next to him. I guess the subject was trying to walk away or something, but I don't know. That was interesting though. So I can't
This
say.
was a
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
it was a long time since I've heard the story, but it was a guy that was hunting, and I don't remember if it was Texas or not. But he got back to his truck, and something started making noise from the woods. So he undid his rifle, unloaded it, put it in the truck, and when he put it in the truck, as soon as he put it in the truck, a rock come from the wood line and busted him in his head.
Mm.
He hit the ground, and when he got his senses back, he come back up and he got to the bed of his truck, and the thing was in the bed of his truck, come off the truck and on top of him. And he remembered he had his pistol. I don't know if it was in his pocket or in his holster. It was a 22 Magnum. He got it out and he got it up and he shot and he grazed the damn thing in his head. He said when he shot, he grazed the, he said the thing took off back in the woods. He said he got up, got in his truck, and they just started screaming in the woods. He got going down out of where he was, and he said he was going off on this road, and he said I guess he was halfway, and all of a sudden he said he felt the truck jolt bolt, made a move from something. He heard a loud bang, and he looked in his mirror, and there was a big rock, big rock sitting on the side of the road there that wasn't there when he passed. So he figured the thing through the rock and hit his truck. But when he got back, he found a nice big
Mm.
dent inside his truck. But it hit him. It
Wow.
come out, and that was the story he told.
That, yeah,
You
wow,
know.
that's interesting. It's because every story or every account that I've heard where people had rocks thrown at them, that's the first one I've actually heard where the person got hit by the rock.
Uh,
Most rocks are usually thrown directed at people, but not they intentionally hit them. Um, like usually by your feet or a couple of feet or a few feet next to you, stuff like that. I know a local here, a real good friend of mine. He goes out with me a few times. Retired Iraqi veteran, and well, not retired, but he's an Iraqi veteran, whatever. His son goes to school with my daughter. Well, what got him interested in Bigfoot was him and a friend was hunting in a part of the national forest here in Virginia, and he was walking up this you know heavily wooded trail, and up on the side of him he has on one side there's a high ridge. Well, taking their time hiking up the trail while hunting, he had I think if I'm not mistaken, he described like a what do you call it? But probably a little bit bigger than a softball size stone came flying down. Not just it didn't roll down; it came down like bluntly, with force, the way he described it. And he knows animals. He said he knows no animal is going to throw a stone, with force like that. Um, and so I guess he got to thinking, it stuck with him for a little bit, and he realized even though he didn't see what threw it, I guess the thought of Bigfoot came into his mind, and because he knows as far as he hunts all kinds of animals. He hunts bears, wild boars, and whatever so forth, and he knows a bear ain't gonna throw anything direct with force. It didn't hit him, but it landed right in front of him, and so yeah, that was interesting for him. And that's what got him involved with wanting to learn more, get involved with Bigfoot. But um, oh,
Now,
hold
if
on,
you
Nikki
don't
was
think an
stating something.
animal, if you don't think these animals can throw, you go on YouTube and look at the video of the gorilla in the zoo that throws that rock at that window that's supposed to be bulletproof, and he shatters it.
Mm,
And that shows you what kind of force these things
wow.
can throw.
Mm,
That
oh
that
yeah,
rock is just I mean, it's like sidearm.
that's pretty. Wow. Nikki stated right here, referring to Robert Dotson. She said, "I thought Robert Dawson got hit. He was bleeding." Or then she says after that, maybe he hurt himself. She said, "Now I can't remember." um, so I don't know the story you were referring to. Do you remember? Oh, was that Texas that you said that happened to?
It may have been. It's been so long. It was a long time ago when I heard it. It may have been a year ago when I heard it.
Okay, because I know Robert Dawson. He's from out of Texas, but yet I know when I spoke to him on the phone, he uh, he stays in what was it, Oklahoma? Was it? Yeah, I think he says there's a part of Oklahoma he stays in because he has a cabin with over on 100 acres of land or so. But
Mm.
yeah, where um, because I was gonna schedule to have him on a show, and when I did a podcast test with him, and at that time his audio was not good at all. I couldn't really hear him or nothing. I could make out bits and pieces of what he was saying to make everything out all together, but um, so I don't know. I mean, I do want to get him on here. Maybe it might be best. I might get him on the Blog Talk Radio show. That might be I think that might be a better deal. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till I get my radio show upgraded so I can have more of a longer discussion with him. And Nikki, if you're listening, when I get perhaps when I get that going, uh, Nikki has some great questions. So she actually she emailed me a list of questions for me to interview him with. Um, so Nikki, if you're interested, if I do that on my Blog Talk Radio show, if you want to be one of the, help me interview him, I could have up to 5 people on there. So perhaps we could set that up later on. Give me another month. I'm still new with the radio show. I get more of a feel for it this Saturday when I actually do the scheduled show. So, uh, yeah. Yeah, and I guess I'll throw it out there again. For those who are not familiar, I did a short little um, upload on here yesterday. Talk about my new Blog Talk radio show. You can find that the links on my Facebook. To get to the page, you could click follow under it. Just like if you're a subscriber to me on YouTube, if you go to my Blog Talk radio show main page, you could follow me on that. And so whenever I go live on that, you guys will get the notifications on that. So, because there's a lot of people that I can't get on my podcast shows because they don't have a camera or they can't do this or do that. The Blog Talk Radio Show, I think it's going to be a lot bigger and better. I mean, you're still going to see all my uploads here. I'm still going to continue to do uploads on YouTube. But my new Blog Talk Radio Show, it's going to be in a matter of time. I think it's going to get big. I'll be able to get all the people I couldn't get on here on there. So, I'll take call-ins and everything. So, and Steve was with me last night when I was playing around doing a play around podcast, a radio show, and I had all these callers coming in. I said, where the heck are all these callers coming in? So I said, all right, let's check them out. I don't know, people from different radio shows or people that were online. I guess once you see that you go live, they start calling in your number. And I clicked on a couple of them, and one guy was ranting on about this and that, Black Lives Do Matter. I was like, okay, let's not listen to that one. So, I don't know. I
think that dude was from South Detroit, man. I tell you what. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I think from now on, if I'm going to get callers to call in, I need to know your number. That way I can know which one. It's like you can message me. Like if I do the Blog Talk Radio Show, I'll have a separate window opened up. You can message me on Facebook directly and give me your number. So if I see your number on the show, I'll know to answer you. Let you jump in. So, yeah, it's gonna take some organizing. I've been in touch with Lori. Lori from Night Callers Radio. I was getting some pointers from her, and a couple things I was having trouble with yesterday. She helped me out with, so that was awesome. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to really getting that going and working the bugs out on the Blog Talk Radio Show. Because the Blog Talk Radio Show is awesome because it reaches out once you go live. I mean, you're basically worldwide with that thing, so that's awesome. It's gonna reach out to a lot more people. I think it's gonna help bring in the awareness. So, it's like I said, it's just a matter of time. Rome wasn't built in a day, so so. Does anyone have anything they want to throw in there? Because we're gonna go ahead and jump off air here shortly.
I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wish I could download my memory of my sighting on November 24th and spread it around everywhere. And everyone would understand why I'm so firm on what I believe. Because I saw it. I just wish I could.
So, all right, let me repeat that because make sure I heard that right. You said you wish you could. I don't know if it's probably going to sound stupid. I don't know if this is what you said or not, but you wish you could download your memory.
Yes.
Okay, I thought that's what you said. I just wasn't sure.
My memory.
Okay.
Of my side.
Got you.
Yeah, I looked at that thing for a very long time. I just wish I could get people to see what I saw.
Right.
Doesn't work that way.
Well, let me ask you this: would you I could put if you want if if you have the time, if you want to, you can send it through email. If you want, you can send it through Facebook. And what I could do, I could take it and I could, if you want to, I could put it in a blog. I could put it in one of my blog posts on my website, and then I could publish it. Of course, like I did it with anyone else who wants to publish on my website. As far as make a blog, feel free to contact me. I can put it in my blog, and I do make sure that you will get credit as the author of that blog, such as I did that with Greg Corbin. He did a statement for the whole E.C.B.R.O. It pretty much represents all of us in our statement. As far as who we are and how a lot of it has to relate to our, all the recent, trash and everything that's been going on. And me and him had a lot of discussions with that, and so a lot of negativity get to us, and we're showing people we're rising above that, and we're going to move forward with our research, and show people that we are who we are, and that we mean business, and that we're real and honest people. um, and again, on the other note, like I stated before, and I'll say this again publicly, my I have a lot of errors that, as far as my research, there's a lot of mistakes I made with my research that I am, over the period of time up to recently, I am actually finding things where I'm correcting them, and again, I'm presenting it to you. And some of my things, this is what I'm coming across with a lot of the stuff I'm presenting. There are certain people taking direct offense to it. And I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. If people are taking a direct offense to it, it means I'm doing something right. As far as in my opinion, I feel like I'm doing something right. It's getting to you. It's not to put you down. It's not to make you look stupid. It's to get you to think. And as I said over and over again, draw your own conclusions with evidence, or not evidence, but research presented. That's all we can do, is present what we learn or what we believe. If there's any fact related, I've stated this before too, any facts that I speak about is related to known animals, known species. So, when people talk about facts, that I've seen people twist my words around because they don't understand what they're talking about. They don't understand what they're hearing. So and again, if you do not understand me, please question me. We all have to be questioned. We have to be willing to be questioned with what we're presenting. Um, I've asked people to do this on a number of occasions. I mean, people don't want to do that. They'll twist stuff around and throw it out to other people. Hey, he's saying this, he's saying that. No, that ain't what I said. You're twisting my words around. If you don't understand, please ask me. That's all I'm saying. Please ask me. And, you know, ask me regarding what I present, regardless if it's research or a claim that I'm stating. If I'm making a claim, question me about it. And that should be towards anybody that presents a claim related to Sasquatch. We need to question everybody. Question research. Question anything with Bigfoot. But please question me if you don't understand me. I know I'm not the best person to explain things, and I do try my best. If I have, I'm. It's easy for me to write it down, type it out. I can put words on.
Keep losing?
I don't know. Jammed up.
Yep.
Go. You lock up.
Yep.
I guess he's experiencing technical difficulties.
Yeah. It's that way. That's second time or better.
Damn. Not good. Oh, there he went.
He's out of there. Yeah.
Hit me back. Hit me back. Hit me back.
Yeah.
I don't have any live chat to read from, so I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know. Oh well. Y'all can just sit there and look at our pretty faces. So what you got going on? Anything good? Is there anything interesting?
Like this weekend, it was cool enough. And tomorrow I go in. Sorry, you guys, that you didn't have to hear this, but I get to go get my arthritis shots tomorrow, so I'll be in a lot better shape. This rain just killed me.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't ever have any rain up here anymore.
It's going several
Hot
times a
and humid.
day. Yeah.
Hot and humid. Huh.
Maybe he's
I'm
not
hoping
coming
he
back.
gets himself unjammed.
No, he's probably still talking, don't even realize he's off.
Well, yeah, if y'all get a chance, hopefully Friday night I'll be posting a new show that I'll be doing with Lale. It'll be called Legends and Myths with Lale and Shaky Jr. And Friday night show, the first show will be about the Mothman. It's going to be pre-recorded, and but we will be posting Friday night. So I'll make a post on my webpage. So hopefully, y'all get a chance to watch it. We're going to do a show once a week.
That's over in Sutton, isn't it? Sutton?
What is it?
Flatwoods. Over in Flatwoods.
Flatwoods?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it started. I guess that's where it started.
Over in Sutton,
Flatwoods
Flatwoods.
was a monster. You're right. Point Pleasant, and then there's some other places that's been seen, and we'll get into that and enjoy that. New shows are going to be one a week, and I'll post them on Friday nights. But they're not going to be live shows. It's just going to be recorded. People can watch when they can. Find them interesting. Huh. I don't know if I can get on the live chat or not. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? I'll try. Can't make any promises. But you never know anything's possible. My phone doesn't die. Alright. Alright, check. There we go. Oh, here it comes. He's coming back now. You there, Daniel? Yeah. Picture. Oh. I don't know. I don't know. And then he goes again.
Yeah.
That's not good. And now he's back.
All right, I'm
There
back.
he is.
Are you guys there?
Yeah. He's sitting there
I'm
just chatting
sorry.
away, waiting on you.
It might do it again. I'm looking at my signal. Okay, yeah, my network crashed. I have a very low signal right now because I think it's been raining out here since I've been home, and I don't know if it's storming out right now or not. So yeah, so that's what happened because I kept looking. I said, "What the heck?" Because even when I was trying to reload everything, it wasn't coming back up. I said, "What the heck's going on?" And I looked over at my signal. So yeah, I don't know what part or where you guys lost me at because apparently I was talking and I went out. So, but
Not asking questions, that's about it.
oh,
Asking
okay,
you
and then
questions, and if you knew it was something to that effect, if you knew, you'd give your best advice. And
yeah. I was also wanting to state what I was trying to say too. I don't know if you guys heard, but as far as blogs, if reports, stories, encounters, or anything that you guys want to share, if you guys want it published or documented, feel free to share that information to me either through email or Facebook or whatever source you have to send it to me. Um, and I'll be glad to put it on the website, the E.C.B.R.O website. For example, Donna, like if you want to like document, write your your sighting, your encounter. Um, you could send that to me if you have any pictures you want related, like maybe the ones that, if you want, I can use the ones that I sent to you back on the still shots. um, we could put that in the website, and any blog or anything that people want to share, if it's related to a specific topic, I will make sure that person gets credit as far as like what I did for um, uh, Greg. I make sure that person's the author, stated that they're the author. I want to make sure everybody gets their credit. Because, I've been told, but it's reported back to me that others say, well, if you share something with him, he's not going to give you credit for it. I'm not the BFRO. I don't do that. um, but on another note, I've said this in the past years ago, not that long ago, but I have stated that if I get evidence or presented to me, if I get research or something that I claim, no, not that I claim, but something that I state, if it is from somebody else, I always make sure they get credit. I always give credit where credit is due. I believe that's the way it should be. If somebody stated something, state who said it. Because I've actually had people telling me, "Hey, those are well said, Daniel. Well said. Those words are." I said, "No, I didn't say that, but I'm in agreement with it because this is what it's represent all of us, or those who associate with, like Greg Corbin's statement that I put in the blog post. Because he told me, he says, I want to write something out for us, and he told me what it was going to say. I said, great, that's awesome. Then I'm the first one he shared it to me. I said, okay, I'm putting this in the website, and that's what I did. So, and for those who may not be familiar with the website, uh, go to www.ecbro.wordpress.com, and then go into my blog post. You'll see, the E.C.B.R.O statement. You'll see I do have a couple reports in there. If you go through a couple Bigfoot reports, one of them is actually a cryptid of somewhat of a large bat type creature that was actually from 6 years ago here in Virginia. A friend of mine's lady friend shared with me, and when she shared it to me, I said, "Man, send that to me in an email. I want to put that on a blog post." So it was pretty interesting. So anybody, if you have something to share with me, send email me. I know some of the viewers are not on Facebook, so you can email me at ecbro98@gmail.com. So, all right. Well, before I get disconnected again, you guys have any last words, statements before we go off air?
nice y'all to join us on short notice. It's always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised we had a turnout that we did because on the bottom it showed 7 viewers, but I'll find out for sure once we go off air. So, but some viewers, but
Uh-oh.
That we lost it again.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I know the backstory went through here and his head to go away.
Mm.
oh,
There you
I
go.
believe it because it rained out pretty hard earlier. So, yeah. Well, we need the rain. It was very hot early today. Yeah, it was very hot. Um, trying to think. Well, with everything being said, I hope everyone enjoyed our random open discussion. It was a spare of the moment kind of podcast. But Saturday, be on the lookout for the new Blog Talk Radio. It's actually the title of my Blog Talk Radio show. It's called the Squatch Zone. You'll see my E.C.B.R.O Zone label in there, but it's also I gave the title the Squatch Zone. It's going to be the Squatch Zone Radio for Blog Talk Radio. So take a look at that. Find that. I have it shared on Google. I have it shared on Facebook, Twitter. So and you subscribe. Check. Oh yeah. Before we go off air, I want to throw it out there too. Steve,
Yeah.
you're gonna have you and Layla got a show coming up, right?
Yeah, I talked about that when you went off.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
I didn't want dead air, so I just started running my mouth, bro. I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. Okay. Well, very cool. Very cool. So, if you haven't done so, subscribe to Steve's YouTube channel, Shaky Junior. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's my.
Yeah. All right. So, yep, Shaky Junior. Definitely subscribe to that. Check that out. I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. How long are the shows going to be?
Hopefully about an hour. Now that's going to be on a different thing. That's going to be under American Legends and Myths with Lale and Shaky, Jr. That's what that YouTube channel's called. I'll put a post up
Okay. Okay.
when I post it Friday.
Okay.
We're going to do pre-recorded shows. We're going to pre-record them and then put them up Friday.
All right. So, what I was going to suggest, well, no, it wouldn't work that way. You wouldn't be able to separate them that way. Because see, a lot of times when I upload stuff to YouTube, like if I'm doing a I got field videos, podcasts, and then my webcast. A lot of times, even after I upload them, I'll take that show. Like if it's a webcast, I put it into one of my playlists. I try to separate them into categories. So if you go into my playlist, you'll see all the webcasts, all my new recent webcasts. So, yeah, what was that, Steve?
Damn rock, you hear it?
There's something.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, focus. And he froze up. Did you hear it, Donna?
Yes.
Scared the hell out of him. He was jumping away. Damn. Man. They like doing that crap, man. People think I'm kidding. They like doing that crap.
You both said back here laughing.
I'm glad somebody else, neighbor's son, but I'm glad some caught that. Actually caught it on video. Good. I mean, just say get lost them with. Just say if I turn this around, you see the tree. There's no wind blowing here at all.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. There it goes again. So, Well, let me go ahead and jump off here, everybody. I'm glad everyone tuned in. And so, yeah, if you guys can, be on the lookout for Saturday show. It's going to be at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the West Coast out in California or whatever, if you're on, I guess that's Central Time. I guess the show will start 9 o'clock your time. So yeah, 9 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Uh, Thank you guys again for tuning in. This is Daniel Benoit, Shaky Jr., and Donna Hamrick. God bless everyone.